Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. It's kind of a Captain Marvel day in a way, and I don't mean just Marvel, and I don't mean just DC. It's kind of a Captain Marvel day, and you'll see why. First up, Captain Marvel from the Marvel Universe. Her first shot of her costume was today, and it looks like that. Well, it's fine. It's not incredible. It's almost like Ant-Man-ish, or or Captain America-ish. The way it seems frumpy on her. It doesn't really. I can't put a point of finger on it, but I know that that's not her colors, right? I mean, from all the different, I guess, the newer comics, I don't know much about Captain Marvel's history and her suit and everything, but from what I've seen, it's always been red and blue. At least that's what people had put fan art out and comic covers out, but it's green, so that is very doesn't really match her very much, especially when she has blonde hair. But like a lot of Marvel fans have come out and said it's a Kree-related suit, I guess. It alludes to the first Marvel, I think. And I don't have any more information. Like I'm very green in Marvel Universe. So to me, it just doesn't look right fit for her. But thankfully, have a lot of actually come out and actually fixed it up a bit, especially Boss Logic's work. I mean, he has done 3 or 4, and this one is really nice looking. She has shorter hair. She's got a sash on. The suit looks more tighter fitting on her, so it looks more like she could be really a quick, fast person instead of this paratrooper type uniform, almost like a flight suit, I guess. It's really frumpy. It doesn't seem like it looks a little big for her. But then we get a little bit more into it and find out it's in the 90s or something, and that's not her suit that she will have. And so if you go back to the San Diego Comic-Con, or what was it, or it was D23, wherever this picture showed up, where Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, had a concept art where she is in the blue and red. It's tighter fit. It's almost like the Iron Man suit that, the Spider-Man suit that Iron Man made for him. That new blue-red metallic shine. Is Tony Stark going to be the tailor for the MCU? Maybe he's going to make a suit for Brie Larson, or I mean Captain Marvel, give her the suit that's more tight-fitting, much more nicer sheen to it, that matches almost Spider-Man's Iron Spider. At least I think that's the Iron Spider suit, or some kind of suit that's made by Iron Man. So that could be it. That could be what actually transpires here. But for right now, it's fine, but it doesn't grab my attention at all, and it's probably one of the more weaker suits that Marvel has ever created. Well, no, I could say Quicksilver was, yeah, and some other people, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch. But, that's fine. Captain Marvel, I don't know if this is being shot for Captain Marvel or Avengers 4. We don't really know. I assume it's Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel's in it. But then again, she's in the Avengers, apparently in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers 4. So we'll know where it's going to go from there. But that is the suit right now. I am hoping when it's the official reveal, it's actually going to be a nice photo shoot for a magazine instead of just a behind the sets, on the set scene shot. It doesn't look that great, and it never looks great on scene, except for there are some cases where it does look awesome. But I like to see that nice magazine photo shoot, or a clip, or a screenshot from the actual film. That actually is a better representation of what we're going to see in the movie. Remember Hans Zimmer? Where did he go? Well, he retired from superhero business back when he did his interview for Batman v Superman. He said, "That's it, I'm done, I'm no longer doing this." And I kind of thought that was after the reception of Batman versus Superman. Maybe he got scared altogether. He just ran away. He didn't want to face the music, even though his music was awesome. Hans Zimmer's music is incredibly amazing, and I love his music. I love his score. It definitely has that modernness to it. The Dark Knight, The Last Samurai, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel. There's so much of his music around, and it was really sad to see him not coming back to the superhero genre, because he could actually make incredible superhero themes. Well, he's back. Not in the DC Extended Universe, unfortunately, but he is back in the Fox Marvel X-Men Dark Phoenix. So this actually came out. Collider had heard whispers that Zimmer would score that movie, and star Evan Peters seemed to confirm it on Josh Horowitz's podcast Happy, Sad, Confused. He said, "I think the film is going to be incredible," Peters said, "but Hans Zimmer scoring it, I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not." Fantastic. I can't wait to hear this. You know, X-Men, they had some themes in there, but I want it, when Hans Zimmer scores something, it brings a level of awesomeness to it. I can't even explain the words, but it really reels you in, and you can hear it. You can actually hear it. There's a lot of movies in there where you're invested in the movie, but you don't hear the music at all. But Hans Zimmer is one of the few people that can actually do that, can actually bring the music up front, and you can actually hear it and appreciate it. So I'm really happy to see him doing superheroes. Unfortunately, I wish he was back in DC's camp, but you know, he's all around anywhere. They can hire him for anything. So I hope that, because maybe with his experience with X-Men Dark Phoenix, he'll get the hang of, you know, want to do superhero movies again and start coming back and doing some DC movies, maybe even do some, help Marvel out. I mean, Alan Silvestri is back, so I'm happy for that. But, you know, maybe there's some movies that Marvel could help out on. Now, onto the brunt of this video, and that is the other Captain Marvel. And that Captain Marvel is the legally, but the first person to ever have the name Captain Marvel is Shazam. And he's now called Shazam, and according to David F. Sandberg, the Wizard is confirmed to be also called Shazam. So what are they going to name him? Seriously, is it going to name him Shazam? I joked out in a tweet that at the end of the movie, they're going to ask Billy, "What do we call you?" And he's going to open his mouth, and then it's going to go straight to the end credits. The end credits roll, and black screen, and we won't ever know what he calls himself. So he can call himself Captain Marvel, Captain Shazam, I don't know, just Billy, Captain Billy. But we're all thinking about Shazam, and more than just Shazam, because a lot of us who are huge fans of Superman want to see more Superman, and Shazam seems to be the perfect place to have a cameo for Superman. David F. Sandberg has said himself that Shazam, Billy Batson looks up to Superman as kind of like a role model in being a superhero. And so when he said that, and when he's playing around his little toys on his Instagram, you see Superman, he kind of alludes to maybe Superman will show up, but it's all could be all fun and games and all just being playful at that, and just using inspiration for Superman, or saying that Shazam can go head to head with Superman. The Rock even said the Black Adam could go head to head with Superman. He took a picture with Henry Cavill, so we all assumed Superman was going to play a part of this. And now this is coming from Revenge of the Fans. And he kind of goes through about the tug of war between getting Superman back to the big screen again, and the reception of Justice League, even though it was kind of negative, especially the mustache gate. But Superman was a big factor in people's excitement for the film, right? And coming out of the film, Superman was a huge deal in that he's back. He is a confident figure. The people want to see more of him in that. There also talks about Matthew Vaughn, Mark Miller, and, you know, all that. Put all that aside. This article has to say, and I'm going to link it down in the description, is that there's good news, is that the Superman sequel is still happening. The bad news, however, and I kind of went over where he initially thought this was going to come out, but the bad news is that he's now being told that we're going to have to wait until the summer. possibly at San Diego Comic-Con for the official reveal, which will include the director and the release date. But with the way their slate is currently configured, we're unlikely to see this film before 2020. Now that just crushes my heart, because I was really looking forward to some kind of news to next month. Because when I don't know if you remember from the video from before, it said that there's going to be some Man of Steel sequel, Superman, untitled Superman sequel film will come out the day after, or even a little bit after the time the digital release of Justice League. But now it seems like it is going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, which makes sense. That's where all the we're probably going to see a new slate. We're going to probably see their plan better, more revealed, and probably see a lot more in that Hall H. And oh man, it's going to be a crazy Hall H, but we're going to find out a lot more. Also, to see this film, we're not going to see this film before 2020, which makes sense because we got Aquaman, we got Shazam 2019, we got Wonder Woman 2, and also ending in 2019. So it makes sense to be after that, although I wish it was at before that, but I can see the timeline, and that makes total sense. But hopefully 2020 and not 2021, 2022, but that doesn't mean we won't see Henry Cavill one more time before then. According to this article, and it says a spoiler warning, but I kind of alluded to it already, and I don't think it's a big spoiler, is that Superman, Henry Cavill, is set to appear in Shazam. Now, according to this article, this discussion about him appearing in Shazam was internal discussions among Warner Brothers and possibly New Line set about where to place him next. And we already know that they've been teased by Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam, and it just seems the perfect place to put him. And we've already talked about why it is the perfect place to put him. But this is actually news, not just guessing, not just people hoping for it. It's actually that there are sources, whether this is real sources, trusted sources, according to this person's trusted sources, but I still think it's kind of rumor mill, but a little bit more official rumor mill, in that there are talks within the internal discussions. At least somebody kind of brought it up that maybe Henry Cavill should reprise his role as Superman for Shazam, and it makes total sense. I always said this in Justice League when those kids were interviewing Henry Cavill, Superman, Clark, in that firefighter scene in the beginning of Justice League. What if that one of the kids was Billy Batson? That would be so cool to see in Shazam, to actually start off and have a better shot, you know, Henry Cavill in the Superman suit, and totally rework that to the benefit of Shazam, to show that he really does look up towards Henry Cavill. And you know, if it's not too hard to ask, have Superman come in towards the end or train him or do some things with him, almost like an Iron Man type role model to Spider-Man Homecoming. It could happen, and I'm maybe thinking far too along the line, but it seems more of a reality now, even though this is still rumor mill, so please take this as a grain of salt. But any more news of Superman, I'm there with it. I am ready to hear more about it. I'm ready to see Superman again in the DCU. So hopefully this gives you Superman fans mind at ease. And also, I'm going to leave you with this, though. I want to leave you with this. And I think I want to hear what you guys have to say before I make an actual video of this. Okay, ready? Now, the Action Comics, I think Action Comics 1000, I forgot what number, but they're going to make an original story that has not been made before by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in an unpublished story from Superman. And what they're going to do is actually put the red trunks back on Superman. Yeah. The red trunks back on Superman. So my question out to you guys, do you think that the red trunks will appear on Superman for the DCU? Do you think by the time Shazam comes out, if Henry Cavill reprises his role as Superman in Shazam, if he does, or in the Superman Untitled Superman film, do you think by that time they will put the red trunks back on him? And how do you feel about red trunks being on him? Please comment down below on that. I'd like to hear more from what your guys' opinions on the red trunks, and also any of the stories that I've said tonight. Captain Marvel's new suit, Superman being Shazam, and Hans Zimmer is back scoring superhero movies. All right, thank you so much for subscribing, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.